Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like your brain is just constantly craving a new hit of information? Like your attention span is shrinking by the day? You sit down to do one task, the one thing you need to do, and 5 minutes later, your phone is buzzing, your laptop has a new tab open, and you're completely derailed. You're definitely not alone. Our lives are a non-stop barrage of distractions. The world, and specifically the technology around us, is absolutely designed to pull our attention in a million different directions with bright colors and enticing notifications. Research even shows that nearly 50% of people feel their attention span is shorter than it used to be. The good news is, you're not powerless. We have the ability, through intentional training and self-discipline, to reclaim that focus. But to fix it, we first need to understand the enemy, attention and technology. Think about it. You finally settle into a focused session, studying, reading, or working, and then bam, your phone lights up. That notification buzz might as well be an air horn saying, "Look at me." Next thing you know, you've tumbled down a social media rabbit hole of short videos you won't even remember by tomorrow. This is intentional. Phone apps are locked in a relentless battle for your time, and this is called persuasive technology. Developers actively engineer their products to hold your attention using things like red notification bubbles, brightly colored app icons, and algorithms that constantly feed you more of what you like. It's a whole system designed to keep you scrolling. Now, there's an internal factor too. Boredom. If you're uncomfortable with sitting still or doing nothing, your mind will naturally seek out distractions. But the even better news is that people who experience moderate levels of boredom are often more creative and better at problem solving. We can train ourselves to be okay with this feeling. So, how do we escape the cycle? We've got 3 crucial steps coming up right now. Let's dive right into the first step you can take to reclaim your focus, and it's a big one. Stop multitasking. Think about it. When you try to watch a show on TV while scrolling on your phone, you aren't truly focused on either one. Your attention is divided, and you miss details in both. At first, committing to one task might feel weird, maybe even a little boring or antsy. But the more you practice intentional single-tasking, the better your focusing muscle gets, improving your overall attention span in the long run. There are serious downsides to multitasking too. A study by Stanford University found that people who habitually multitask actually have reduced memory and performed worse on simple memory tasks compared to those who just focused on one thing. Productivity expert Chris Bailey, author of Hyperfocus, champions this intentional focus. He argues that specifically setting intentions can double or even triple your odds of success. He discusses the concept of hyperfocus, where you are completely locked into one task, versus scatterfocus, which is what happens when you try to juggle multiple things. This idea is echoed by Cal Newport's book, Deep Work, which contrasts focused work with shallow work. By choosing to prioritize one thing at a time, you build the ability to achieve that hyperfocus or deep work state, and your attention span will naturally improve. The second powerful way to train your attention is through meditation. I know, you might be thinking, meditation, here we go again. But hear me out. The benefits for your focus are massive. Meditation trains your mind to simply observe the constant stream of thoughts, feelings, and impulses without getting completely swept up in them. Picture yourself sitting on a riverbank. The river is your stream of consciousness or your thoughts. You can either sit and observe the rapid current, or you can jump in and splash around. Splashing around is distracting, just like getting swept up in your thoughts. Meditation teaches you to acknowledge the thought and let the water pass without getting in. You simply observe. Even if long, repetitive practice isn't for you, there's good news. One study found that subjects who simply sat for 17 minutes focused on their breathing, and gently brought their mind back to the task whenever it wandered. Doing this just once showed improved attention span, better memory, and slowed cognitive decline. It doesn't have to be a huge commitment to start seeing results. The final, crucial step for training your attention span might sound the most counterintuitive, but it's incredibly effective. Do nothing. When was the last time you sat for a long period and did absolutely nothing? No phone, no videos, no podcasts, no books, nothing. Learning to simply sit still and do nothing can have a deeply beneficial effect on your attention. At first, your mind will race. You'll experience all the mental clutter and racing thoughts you usually mask with distraction. But the key is not to give in. You just sit there and let those thoughts occur. Eventually, the mental noise starts to slow down. You'll begin to feel more settled and relaxed, and your mind will actually create more space for focused work and creativity later on. Instead of your attention jumping from one stimulus to the next, you are training it to settle. And by doing so, you are actively increasing your attention span. If sitting in a room and doing nothing sounds too difficult to start, try taking a long walk with no distractions. This means leaving the headphones, the phone, and any form of media at home. Just walk and let your mind wander and settle naturally. Living in a world where everything is fighting for a slice of your attention can feel like an impossible uphill battle, especially when you have ever-growing to-do lists. But remember this: you have more control over your focus than you might think. Mastering your attention span takes intention and discipline, but with sustained effort, you can take back the reins and start choosing exactly where you put your attention. By reducing multitasking, practicing meditation, or even simply embracing the act of doing absolutely nothing, you are actively training your attention muscle. It might feel difficult or awkward at first, but with time, it gets easier, and your focus and productivity will dramatically improve. Do you have any personal tips for cutting out distraction and finding your flow state? Comment down below and let us know. And as ever, stay tuned.